Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. Today I'm going to be talking about the possible Goosebumps news of a leaked new game for the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One, and the PC that apparently is coming out in sometime in the near future. I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm very excited for this. To try to start off the video, yes, my allergies are terrible today. My left eye is so freaking red. I don't know if you can see that very well. My voice is a little grungy, like a metal singer. And I'm blowing my nose nonstop, so I might have to stop at some point in this video. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but maybe not. It won't be gross. If it's bad, I'll cut out the whole thing. But anyway, apparently there was a leak back in March that I hadn't heard anything about. And I was on Facebook the other day, one of the Goosebumps Facebook groups. There's a particular user, possibly an administrator, I think, that's in there, named Becky, had shared this news. It's an article from GameRant.com. And GameRant used to be kind of reliable. I think it still is, from what I understand. I checked up on this too, just to be sure that there were multiple sources that were reporting on this. And apparently it's true. When I was a kid, I used to love playing games all the time. I remember certain games had this thing called PEGI as its rating system, which is over in the UK. It's not like here in the US. I think we have the MSRB, I think is what it is. And you'd hear this really cool name, or this really cool voice would pop up on certain games or certain trailers for games when I was a kid, like on the PlayStation 2 and whatnot, and it'd be like, PEGI 18, you know, and it was pretty awesome. The thing is, PEGI accidentally messed up, and they accidentally rated a new Goosebumps game that's coming out. And I don't know what it is, but it's made by the people who made the VR game, I think the VR game, whatever the game was for the 2015 movie. And it was on the Google App Store and the Apple App Store and all that. It's the one, not Horror Town. You know, not that one, but the other one where it's like a first-person game. You're walking around slappies inside of the house. You have to hide in like different areas of the building and stuff, which that game terrifies me. I'm absolutely petrified of that game. I still have not finished that game to this day, playing it on my own behalf. I had to delete it from my phone because it freaked me out too much. I'm going to try to finish playing it, if I'm able to. I'm very bad at video games, but I'm going to try to beat it and make a video about it because I want to play it again. It was really fun. It was very, very scary, so be a little bit, you know, kind of weary about that. But apparently there's a full-length Goosebumps game coming out at some point. If I had to bet on it, I would say it's next year. At the current moment, the title that was rated by PEGI, which again is a ratings board, rating a game that it should be mature or teens or anything like that here in the US, E for everyone, you know, something like that. It's not E for everyone for this game, which is kind of surprising to me. This game is actually being developed to be a survival horror game, is what it's posted from GameRant. And from all the other sources I looked into, this is going to be a survival horror game. The game is apparently called Goosebumps Dead of Night. Wow, that's a very interesting title. To my knowledge, there's nothing I own, Goosebumps-wise, book or movie or anything, that has any reference to the phrase Dead of Night. No books named after Dead of Night, so apparently it might be a brand new thing altogether. I don't think it's based on any R.L. Stine stuff. I know there's like a random story R.L. Stine wrote on the internet on his old websites years ago called Dead of Night from my research, but it wasn't Goosebumps related from what I understand. But survival horror, what would define that, and why would they choose of all things to make a survival horror game of Slappy and Goosebumps and all that? Again, you're not playing as Slappy. It sounds to me you're just playing as a character that's walking around in this world with Goosebumps characters attacking you. I love survival horror. I love first-person shooters. Those are my two favorite, absolute favorite video game genres out there. I love survival horror. I own most survival horror games that were popular back in the day. My personal favorite being the Silent Hill series. There's PS1 for the first one, PS2 for Silent Hill 2, which is, you know, tied with 4 for being my favorite. I know a lot of people hate 4. I don't know why. I think it's fantastic and perfect. Silent Hill 3, amazing. Silent Hill 4, I don't have an official box, but I might actually rebuy it just to have the box because I want it. I love Silent Hill 4. It's so great, so great. That was my first Silent Hill game, aside from seeing the little bits of Homecoming that I saw. Silent Hill Origins, amazing. If you haven't played the Silent Hill games, you're missing out. The last one that started out on the Wii and then got moved eventually to, well, was this before Homecoming? I don't remember. I think this was before Homecoming, I'm pretty sure. Well, I might be wrong about that. Homecoming might be before Shattered Memories, now that I think about it. I think it is. Now that I think, anyway, it doesn't matter. Homecoming, which was a lot of my first experience with Silent Hill. I got into horror video games, which used to terrify me. And I remember one day my grandparents and my mom were out of the house, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna watch some Silent Hill just to see what it's like, because I had seen the film when it first came out, and the first thing that ever came up when I typed in Silent Hill at that time, many, many, many years ago, when I was in middle school, I think it was during the summertime. Homecoming was like the newest game that had been released at that point, and they started releasing all of this new stuff, right? Like, you could watch all these videos of really cool information from that. By the way, here's Silent Hill Downpour, the last, as of this moment, Silent Hill game. And anyway, Homecoming was the first one I actually saw because of YouTube at that time. YouTube was in its greatest days at that point. So it was a great time. I'm really thankful I got to grow up on that. But survival horror game, like Resident Evil, like the early Resident Evils, or like Silent Hill, of a slappy Goosebumps type experience. Like, can you imagine what they could do with that? Because we've seen a little bit of it since the same people who made that app game that we were talking about are making this. That's amazing, dude. They did if they scared me that bad with that Goosebumps game, which I think is scarier than Goosebumps the game, the one for like the Switch and the 3DS and all that, which I love that game too, but the App Store game scared me more because it's genuinely creepy. Again, be careful if you go to play that, because it's not easy and it's not very not scary. It's pretty terrifying, honestly. But there is so much of a great potential here for this game, and I don't even know what I want to see in it, honestly. I don't even know if I want it to be like the movies and have a big mishmash of all these different monsters, or if I'd rather them be smart and try to have kind of a limited amount of that and just kind of have like a story focused around one monster, or many stories that are just a character focused around one monster. Do we want random plot twists that are kind of like the end of the books? Do we want anything like that aside from at the very end of the game? I personally love the Goosebumps Horrorland game that I played on PlayStation 2. I also have a review here on the channel for that. I loved that game. I thought it was so much fun to be more on the cartoonish side and not really the scary side of Goosebumps. And the way this is going, this is being reported to be on more of the scary side, and I'm excited for that, because what you couldn't do with the movies, because they wanted to go more kid-friendly, more funny and comedy-based, you could go scary with this, like the game did, like the first game that I was talking about a moment ago. There's so much you could do with this. It has so much potential, and Goosebumps Dead of Night having a survival horror aspect, the fact that that keeps getting brought up everywhere, is the most exciting part to me, because it's been a long time since there's been any kind of like survival horror games that I've really loved and wanted to play. I basically don't play games anymore. If it's Doom, yeah, I'll play Doom, absolutely. I think the first Doom from 2016, the first remake, reboot, whatever, was the first one I bought in a long time. It had been years since I bought any new games. I don't plan on buying a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, whatever it's going to be. I don't plan on buying any of that, because I just don't play games anymore. If Silent Hill was coming back, I'd be on board in a heartbeat. Absolutely, because it's pretty much dead and floating around in oblivion right now. But this game is supposed to be coming out again. For what I saw on the article that I read from Game Rant, it says Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PC, because it leaked being, you know, rated for the Switch. I'm really hoping this is going to be great. I really hope so. I hope we get an announcement trailer soon, but if I had to bet on it, like I said, I don't think the game's coming out till next year. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. And even though, like I said, I saw this news just like the other day, like 2 days ago, from Becky on the Facebook group, apparently this was announced back in like March. Like, this leak happened back in like March and nobody talked about it for whatever reason. I guess none of us knew about it. But I think it should have been brought up a whole lot more in articles and whatnot on the internet. But who reads gaming articles anymore anyway? Anyway, I'm super stoked for this. Goosebumps Dead of Night. What do you want from this game? Put your thoughts and comments down below, guys. Do you want the original Goosebumps theme song in it? I would love to hear that. Do you know how excited I'd be if I started up this game and heard the Goosebumps theme song involved somehow, some way? It's probably going to be like a big issue with Fox somehow, but I don't know. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait for it. What are your thoughts? Put them down below, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to me ramble about Silent Hill and how much I love it. Check them out if you haven't played them before. They're fantastic. Fantastic games. Especially for survival horror fans, if you haven't been exposed to this before. Anyway, thank you for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.